In this video, we're going to show you how to replace upper control arm bushings on your Chevy Silverado 2500. This is going to be located behind the front wheels. Let's get started. Using a 21mm socket, loosen all of the lugs for the center cap. Remove the center cap. Using a 22mm socket, remove all of the lug nuts. Remove the wheel, reach up above your strut and undo the ABS wire. We're going to undo our ABS harness from the plastic clip. To do this, we're going to press on the back end of this and open it up. Pull your harness forward. You're going to have another plastic clip on top of your control arm. Go ahead and pop that out. Ours is broken. Pull your sensor harness forward. Using a 10mm socket, remove the bolt for the brake line bracket. Remove the bracket, pull it off to the side. We have one more brake line bracket on top of our knuckle. Using a 10mm socket, remove the bolt. Pull the bracket up. We're going to remove the cotter pin out of our ball joint. Using a pair of cutters to pull this clip back together. Get it bent straight. Now on the back side, we're going to grab that cotter pin and we're going to wiggle it and pull it through. So our cotter pin is not going to pull out of here, so you can either use a drill bit and go in between them and drill it out, or you can cut these flat and then put a socket over this and try and pull the nut off. We're going to use a drill bit and try and drill this out and then remove the nut because I don't think a socket on an impact will fit here. With our cotter pin drilled out, we're going to use an 18mm socket. We're going to remove the nut. If you're using a ratchet, be sure you don't take it out so far that you can't reverse the direction and get it stuck. Leave this nut on just a few threads. I'm going to be standing on the back side of our knuckle here, but we're going to use a hammer and we are going to hit this face right here where our ball joint is going in. And we're going to try and shock it. When we do this, our upper control arm is going to let go. It's going to grab the nut on bottom and it won't fully release, but it'll be close. I have a jack under my lower control arm supporting the assembly just so it doesn't pop apart. Tap that knuckle and release that upper ball joint. I'm going to fully remove that bottom nut. I'm going to remove my jack on the bottom, slowly doing this. This ball joint lets go, your knuckle's going to fall forward. Be sure that it doesn't injure you. I have a pull jack sitting under my rotor. We're going to push back on our knuckle assembly, and we're going to pull up on our upper control arm. When we do this, this will release and come up, and our knuckle is going to fall forward. So our axle doesn't come apart in the boot. That's why we have the jack in front, and so we don't put extra tension on these hoses. We're going to push back. Lift up. Let that knuckle assembly fall forward. Take note of where your cam bolts were. We're going to try and put these back on reassembly. Using two 21 millimeters for the head and the nut, we're going to hold the head of the bolt and loosen the nut. Remove the cam plate on the back of the bolt. Remove the bolt. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to use a 21 millimeter wrench on the head of the bolt and a 21 millimeter wrench for the nut. Loosen and remove the nut and the bolt. Wiggle that cam plate free. I'm going to wiggle the head of the bolt with a wrench and push on it with my finger. I'm going to use a pry bar on the back of the upper control arm and help it out of place. We're going to remove our upper control arm and bring it over to the bench to push out the bushings. With our control arm set up in the vise, we're going to press out our upper control arm bushings. Remove the bushing. Install the new bushing into the control arm. We're going to get a cup that fits over the outside of the bushing. You want it sitting on this face. Put that over into our press. And now we're going to put a receiving cup on this end. Install the bushing into the upper control arm. Get the upper control arm bushing fully seated. It'll sit flat against this outside ear. With our bushing fully installed, we're going to remove our installer. And repeat the same process on the other side. With both of the bushings installed, we can bring it back over to the car. Using a wire brush, I'm going to clean up where that control arm bushing sits. Do the same on the front. I'm going to take some Never Sees and put it around the outsides of my bushings. This is what will be contacting the area that we cleaned. Do this on all sides. We're also going to put some inside where the bolt will be going. This will make it so it doesn't lock up on us. These are alignment angles, so we will have to touch them. Do the same thing on the other side. Using a wire wheel, I cleaned up our old bolts. We're going to put some never sees all over that. Do this on both bolts. I'm also going to put some on the face. Install the control arm. If you need to, use a soft face hammer to help you install the control arm. Using a punch or a flat blade screwdriver, I'm going to use that to help align the control arm. Once you have the holes lined up, install the bolts. Install the cam adjusting plate on the back side of both bolts. Get the nut started on both. Remove the nut off the ball joint and remove the boot cover. Install the ball joint into the knuckle. Push it all the way down in. Install the nut onto the bottom of the ball joint stud. Spin it up into place. We're going to use a 6mm Allen key. We're going to hold the stud while we use a 18mm wrench and we snug the nut down. Get the ball joint nut nice and snug. Torque the nut to 37 foot-pounds. If you can't get a torque wrench on it, do the best you can. We're going to go up on our jack. We're going to go until our suspension is at ride height, so where it would sit if it was on the wheel on the ground. When you're doing this, be sure you're looking at your jack stands, making sure you're not pulling your car off of them. We're going to go until our control arm is about flat. We're going to snug down our top nuts. Do the same thing on the other side. Torque the nuts to 140 foot-pounds. Remove the jack out from under the vehicle. Install the bracket into place and get the bolt started. Install the bracket in the bolt. Snug down the bracket. Pull the ABS harness up and over and install it into the plastic stay. If you have the plastic stay here, install it into the control arm. Install the connector. Push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, give it a pull, make sure it's locked on. Install the brake line bracket and get the bolt started. Snug down the nut. Install the wheel. Install all the lug nuts. Snug down all the lug nuts. Torque your lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Install the center cap. After completing this repair, you will need to bring your car to the local alignment shop for an alignment.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.